Hello and welcome to another episode of Mike at the Museum. How about this story? There was a young boy about 8 years old, and he used to go across the street to the Kaling Brothers store and play with a Red Goose string holder. This one right here. Now, Red Goose at the time was a brand of shoes, and this cast iron string holder was given to shopkeepers simply to advertise the brand. This boy went to this store, which was located on South Hickory, so many times that the proprietor finally said, "Son, just take this home with you. It's yours." This string holder, one I've got right here, is the beginning of Ken A. Strike's collection of Centralia memorabilia, a collection that would go on to provide the beginnings of not only the Centralia Area Historical Society, but the museum. So come along with me as I tell the tale of the Centralia Area Historical Society and the museum and how they came to be. All right, so come back with me to the beginning. Now, I mentioned the beginning of Ken A. Strike's collecting old items. Soon, he started collecting Centralia memorabilia, largely due to an interest he developed after talking to Forrest Langenfeld, a fellow employee of the city of Centralia, back in 1995. He first lined up items that he had at home, such as pencils with name of Centralia businesses on them. That led to buying other Centralia items at auctions and at flea markets. Soon, his collection outgrew the boxes he had put them in. Since his daughters were no longer living at home and using the bedrooms upstairs, he made one of them into a room exclusively for his Centralia items. About a year and a half later, he divided his two-car garage in half and took over the southern part of it. Now, to display everything properly, he purchased several glass cases and other furniture so people could view them. Some pictures were framed and put on the walls, along with clocks, banners from Centralia sporting events, and shadow boxes with calendars, as well as bottles from Centralia businesses. Word soon spread about the collection, which became known as the Centralia Room. Kenny was asked to speak to church organizations, civic groups, class reunions, etc. People were surprised and began bringing items they had collected or had received from their parents to Kenny and the Centralia Room. John Scattergood, editor of the Centralia News at the time, published an article and also contacted John Auble of Channel 2 TV News in St. Louis about the Centralia Room. Mr. Auble came to Centralia, viewed the items, and actually did a 15-minute program on it. Several months later, at a noon Rotary meeting, Kenny indicated that he would like to find a permanent place for all of these items, which he would then in turn donate. Nate Rothschild approached him with an idea for creating a historical museum. The two became friends and started working to find a suitable location. In February of 1998, the Centralia Area Historical Society was formed as a not for profit organization with the state of Illinois. Nate Rothschild was the president. Kenneth Oestreich became vice president and archivist. Kathy Stumeyer was the secretary treasurer, and Dr. George Ross was the historian. Other members of the society/museum board were Wendell Lamblin, John Scattergood, John Stumeyer, Mike Jones, Woodrow Kaling, Virginia Rohrbacher, and Richard Salisbury. In late 1999, the Society purchased the brick building on South Locust Street that had once been a grocery distribution center owned by Cole and Meyer. Built around 1917, the wholesale grocery distributed goods to red and white stores, which were small mom and pop neighborhood grocers. The late Ralph Spray, one of the founders of Centralia Cartage, donated $35,000 toward the purchase of our building, which the museum still occupies today. Now, as I record this, we are preparing to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the museum being in the Cole and Myers building. And that is the basic story of how the Centralia Area Historical and then Museum came to be. Next time, what I want to do is spend a little time talking about a group of people that the Society or the museum couldn't have done without. Next up, I'd like to talk about a group of people that we call the founders. Now, Information for today's episode comes from the archives found here in the museum.
I hope you liked today's subject, and if you do, please like and subscribe to our channel. But if you would like to come see all of the Centralia artifacts that we have here in the museum for your very self, then we are open Wednesdays and Fridays, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., and Saturdays we're open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Once again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you here next time on Mike at the Museum.